you've seen from Adam this morning is an outstanding professional networker's presentation. And I take my hat off to him. That was very polished. But we weren't polished 20 years ago. We weren't polished at all. In fact, we were ignorance on fire. And when it was suggested that the UK could get into profit share by doing 3 months of 5,000 cases, we were so ignorance on fire that we didn't even take into account that would require a 40% increase in those 3 months. And there's a message there for Bob. If you want your 30,000, consider it done, Bob. So we did it. And we said, well, what are we going to get? We said, I don't know. What do we have to do? Don't know. Let's wait until the country's qualified and then we'll tell you. So we did it. And then a number of us really got behind the program. Some of the less excited ones could still barely miss the mirror. But those of us who got excited just went for it. We didn't know how much we were going to get, didn't know what was in the pot, didn't know how it was based, didn't know anything, just knew that we were committed to achieving profit share. So, 1996, we're into the program. This is the time for all-out action, do whatever it takes, find out how it works along the way, and get the job done. It was like a fever that was running through the UK. 1997, our first profit share check, £12,631. And as Jayne and I went up, apart from the fact the heart was racing, stomach acid, sweaty palms, slightly dizzy, I could almost see the lawyer's hand reaching out from the side of the stage to take the check out of our hands. Because you see, we'd come into forever over £23,000 in debt. So that money came to us and then went for the reduction in debt. But we'd done profit share level 1. So we looked at the program and thought, what do we have to do? And as Adam has already said so eloquently, do more of it and do it with other people. So, 1997, profit share 1 plus 2. £54,410. Wow. You know, just because you're used to picking up checks and you become used to picking up big checks very quickly, it doesn't mean to say that it's not a heart-stopping moment. Because it doesn't happen to people like all of us, does it? But in Forever it does. Because essentially we're all ordinary people, aren't we? But it was happening. And we got the residue of that debt paid off. Jayne and I were so determined to pay off the accrued debt so we could get ahead of the game. And we also bought a house because we'd had the indignity of having our house taken away by a bank. So now we came into the market again as almost first-time purchasers. Purchasers of a converted barn set in its own grounds. We were hardly the classic profile set out in the Daily Mail. But that's what it enabled us to do. And we determined that year that we would have once-in-a-lifetime experiences every time, and a number of times every year. And that's what we've done since. So, it's all plain sailing. We're on a winning streak. What happens next, Jayne?
In 1998, we worked really hard. And once again, we had a great check. We had a 1 plus 2. And the bonus check was £52,285. And I think it was at this moment that, I certainly speak for myself, I almost became a little bit complacent. A little bit like, well, this is going to happen anyway because, you know, we've got a great team, everybody's doing what we're doing. And I kind of lost sight of where my actions needed to be spent. And the year after was absolutely revolting. Our bonus check, our profit share check dropped from over 50,000 to £16,000. Now, listen, I know for a lot of people in the room, you're sitting there probably thinking, well, £16,000 is a lot of money, I'd love that. But the thing is, we'd seen momentum in our business. We built a business that was doing a 1+2, and we were on the way to level 2. And this was a truly, truly horrible year. For some unknown reason, we didn't know why, some of our team just didn't see what we saw. Maybe we as leaders were not interacting with our team in the correct way. We were massively, massively disappointed. And I have to tell you, this step back in achievement really challenged my thinking. It challenged my thinking a lot. I struggled for weeks and weeks and weeks to get back to where I was the year before in my thinking that I could do anything, achieve anything, become anything, because I was prepared to do the work. And here I was, having done all the work, and suddenly the check had dropped. But I guess it's part of the journey. I guess it's just part of the journey, and we can do one of two things here. We can either sit down and play dead. We can sit down and think, poor little old me. We can sit down and point the finger at everybody else and say, well, it's not my fault, it's their fault. They didn't do, they didn't do, they didn't do. Or we can take full responsibility personally for our own efforts, and we can begin to build again. One of the things that we did do was sit down, as Paul said, and we had a meeting with ourselves. And we asked ourselves, why had this happened? We also committed to the fact that it was never, ever, ever, ever going to happen again. That was our personal commitment to each other. And I guess I want to challenge your thinking as well. And, I need to ask you, is your thinking that focused, that firm, that committed, that when you have challenges, when you have the tough months, the tough years, do you let it get you down, or do you say, I will not be beaten? Do you pick yourself up and brush yourself off? Now, you can liken this thought process not just to building a chairman's bonus check, but to everything you do in building your forever business, your forever life. Because that's what you're doing. You're building a forever life. That once you've got yourself sorted out, impacts on hundreds of thousands of people around the world. So we went back to work. With a vengeance, with a focus, with a commitment, with a determination probably like we've never had before. We were back on track. We were doing the right things. We were working with the existing team, but what we were doing now was understanding the structure of what Profit Share, which is what it was called then, had to offer. We knew we had to develop a strong level 2 check, because this check was 1+2. We seemed to be able to do 1+2, 1+2, 1+2, then the horrible year, 1+2. When were we ever going to get to level 2? And what did we have to do to get there? This, I guess, was where the thought of you've got to begin to develop and underpin legs. You've heard it said before, please don't let that message go over your head. It is about looking deep into your business, and I mean really deep. It's not about the 3 levels, it's about the 10th, the 11th, the 12th, the 13th level. Where are those good people that you need to go and work with to underpin the whole structure of your business? This is not just about 3 levels of pay line. This plan is so clever, it's wide and it's infinity in its depth. And that means people are important. We need to nurture and develop people. That's what this is all about. Look for the potential. See the potential in people long before they see it in themselves. And that was kind of where we were in 2000.
Let's have a look at 2001, level 2, 3 qualifying legs. And I have to say, I thought both Jayne and I were going to pass out together on the stage. I thought we'd do a double act, both on the floor. I'd never experienced anything like that. Nobody in my family or my circle of acquaintance had ever experienced anything like that. It was just so game-changing. And we realized that we could do and have anything that we wanted. We also realized that we had fulfilled our commitment that we'd made to ourselves and to our family. You see, we'd watched other people get pushed back on their journey for almost every excuse. And to coin Margaret Thatcher's old phrase, this lady's not for turning. This distributorship was not for turning. We'd had some pretty horrible things happen along the way on a personal level, family level, but we were not for turning because this had to be the number one priority because we and our family and their future depended on us fulfilling that commitment without swerving, without reversing, without stopping. So we just kept going. Incredible moment. 2007. Was that 2007?
9.
Or was that 2004?
2009, 7.
Profit share level 3. If I thought level 2 was great, this was just ridiculous. And I said to Jayne, this is a license to print money. It's incredible. Incredible. We came home and I had a call from the bank. This was the incredible thing. Lloyd's Bank, we've always banked with Lloyd's, and they said, have you thought what you're going to do with the deposit that's just gone into your account? Would you like some advice? Advice from people working in a bank to people who just made the deposit. If we needed advice, we wouldn't have known how to get it there, and I can assure you we know what to do with it. This is the next thing, though. Between 2005 and 2011, over £2 million, $3 million at level 3. The key thing at that time was that we saved over $200,000 a year for that period. You see, that was only the year-end bonus. That was only the performance bonus for a job well done over the preceding 12 months. And we'd made a truckload of money in the first place from FLP in bonuses from around the world. And, you know, I still haven't met anybody other than a footballer or a movie star who manages to save that sort of money after tax. That's tax paid, okay? So what happened after that, Jayne?
Well, Global Chairman's Bonus came into play. And I have to say, you know, like Adam, it was just a complete and utter game changer. We sat down, we were called to the what are we called now? Global Team Leader meeting, which is the top 10, 15 distributors in the whole world of forever. We're brought together. We spend 4 days at a retreat with Rex and Greg and Aidan and all the VPs, and we brainstorm ideas. And on this retreat, we were not brainstorming. They just said they had some very exciting developments to announce to us all. And when Greg talked about Global Chairman's Bonus, I have to tell you, for once, not one world leader spoke. Nobody did. I can remember just looking at John and him looking at me, and I was looking at Aidan, and I kind of went, no one really got the magnitude of what Global Chairman's Bonus was going to mean to any of us. Nobody really realized. Nobody realized until Hawaii what the global impact was. But what it does mean is that you have to embrace the global opportunity now greater than you've ever done before. We had made a decision 10 years before this that we wanted to build multiple income streams. And that meant multiple legs of income from other countries. We made that decision. We did not want to just have one stream of income in one country. And there were many reasons why we decided this was going to be part of our strategic plan. And at the time when we made that decision, we had no idea that Rex was going to enhance the program to open up the world to Chairman's Bonus. What did it mean to us? Well, it meant in Hawaii that we picked up a check of over $800,000. And even now, when I say it, I can't kind of get my head around it. because that is money that is beyond anything you even dream of. It's so much money that you almost don't think it's just not real. And you know what? When we went on the stage as the number 2 achievers in the world, I remember Rex. He's just amazing. You know, hi Jayne, how are the boys? What are they up to? How's your dad? And I'm going, I can't breathe. I've got to check for it. And he's like, and I said, oh Rex, thank you so much. And his message is always the same. You don't need to thank me. Just go out and help more and more and more and more people achieve a check and come on the stage like you are. That's generosity. This is a private company. He could put it in his pocket, but he doesn't. He wants to pay it back to you. We had 11 legs. We had legs in the UK. We had an amazing leg in Italy, one of my very dear friends. We had a leg in South Africa. Sue, stand up and take a bow, my friend. And Christine has just qualified as well. And I think also you've got several leaders in your team qualifying this year as well. So just brilliant. We're so proud of each and every one of you and all you're doing. We had a leg in East Africa and we had a leg in Nigeria. 11 legs. So what happens from here? Well, you see, you've got to build on success. Whether you're a brand new qualifier this year or you're into the program like we are, like Adam, like Paul and Claire, like all the other leaders, whether you're into the program, you've got to build on your success. You've got to have a plan. You cannot go forward in this business just day to day, week to week, month to month, just seeing if it'll work. You've got to have a very, very serious plan. And I suggest for all of you, especially the brand new people, that your plan from today is a 3 to 6 year plan. Within the next 3 to 6 years, if you grasp what you've got your hands on with Chairman's Bonus, you should be level 1, 1 plus 2, level 2, 2 plus 4 or 5, level 3. But you've got to see it. You've got to draw it out. You've got to believe it. You've got to internalize it. You've got to want it. Because it doesn't happen by accident. My advice to you is structure your managers. The minute that you are working with someone who's manager potential, and that is where you spend your time. You have an A team and a B team. A team is manager potential, B team, love them to bits, but your priority time is spent with the A team. You make sure that your emerging managers are already structured with people beneath them to come through as manager as quickly as they are. I can't tell you how important this is. You need to be working with enough people to give yourself a chance to find those legs. You can't just recruit one, get them to manager and think they're going to be the one. It doesn't work like that. You know, we've got 40 frontline managers now. 11 are Chairman's Bonus qualified. So work out the maths there. You need to give yourself a chance to have enough people to play with. You also need to raise the expectations of your managers. You know, when I'm working with someone, it's manager senior as quickly as possible. I look at them as becoming a manager and having a senior manager structure, because the minute they go manager, if they've got a senior manager structure coming up beneath them, it's a pretty given fact that they're going to go in and do Chairman's Bonus next year. The 2 new managers we've just broken frontline, one was 2 days ago. He's already got a manager coming up behind him, maybe this month or next month. We wanted him, Chairman's Bonus structured for next year. Our new Zimbabwean team have already gone 4 managers deep. So potentially there's 3 people that could do Chairman's Bonus next year, which means that we have a new goal. Whoops, sorry, Paul. And our new goal is that we want to build on our success by developing 2 new chairman's legs for next year in the UK. 3 in the UK, 2 in Zimbabwe, and we're looking to get to 15 qualified Chairman's Bonus legs. Now, I share that with you because that's our vision, that's our goal, and we're prepared to work and do whatever it takes to get there. And I want you, just in the next 1 minute, to write down in your notebooks what your vision, your goal is for Chairman's Bonus in the next 3 years. Just take a minute, and while you're doing that, we're going to exit the stage. We're going to say thank you very much for your time. It's been a brilliant morning. It's been a privilege to come up with Adam and the team of achievers on the stage. And what I want to say to all of you, if we can do it, you can do it. There's nothing special about us. We're focused, we're committed, we're prepared to work hard. We have a mantra that failure is not an option, and that we will work with the people that want to build their lives. So in the next 30 seconds, what are you committed to going forward in the next 3-4 years? Thanks very much for listening.